From the WGBH newsroom in Boston, I'm Adam Reilly, and you're watching another installment of The Scrum, our ongoing look at politics in Boston and across Massachusetts. With me are WGBH's political analyst, that one over there, David Bernstein, also a contributing editor at Boston Magazine, by the way, and right to my left, Peter Kadzis. Guys, thanks for being here. I want to talk this week about the Boston Police Patrolman's contract that was approved by the City Council. Now, back in the mayoral race, when the arbitrator handed down this proposed award, massive pay increase, the mayoral candidates, the finalists, waxed indignant. Marty Walsh, who ended up winning and is now the mayor-elect, called on both sides to go back to the bargaining table, come up with a more just, equitable solution. John Connolly, his rival, didn't like it either. But this week, the City Council votes 12-0 to approve it, and Mayor-elect Walsh basically says, I'm fine with that. What changed?
Well, the election's over. That's what changed. I mean, it's it is 25.4% over 6 years. What that means is the $30 million deficit that Walsh was going to inherit when he took over will now be a $50 million deficit. So in very real terms, the Boston police are getting a raise, but as a result of their raise, other people are going to have to be laid off. So it's an interesting definition of, solidarity, labor solidarity. Let me make a couple of things perfectly clear. As Richard Nixon would say, the police have been working without a contract for several years. They deserve a raise. The question is, with the average Boston patrolman making in excess of $100,000 a year, how much more should they be paid over and above what the median income of the average Bostonian is?
Which is roughly
$51,000. So they deserve a raise. It's just an awfully big one. And as a result of the size of that raise, other people are most likely going to have to be laid off.
David, were you surprised that it was 12-0 with no real debate?
Once the City Council delayed the vote until after the election, it was pretty clear where it was heading. And they took the vote while, just coincidentally, while John Connolly was on vacation with his family, deservedly so after a long election campaign. So he would have been the one vote against, for sure. Look, a couple of political things and then the reality. The political things are, look, you've got a labor organized labor that is feeling its oats, that just showed how strong they can be, how united they can be between the municipal unions and the trade unions. So who wants to go against that? If you're an elected official planning to run for something else in the future, who wants to go against that?
David's right, but I think he's not too kind, and it's not too glib. My attack isn't on David. What I found, I was at the council, and what I found amazing is some of the councilors who got up to defend their vote were striking a pose as if they were striking a profile in courage. The reasoning many of them used was just completely out to lunch. The facts of the matter are that the Boston patrolman 13 years ago gave up the idea of having parity with the fire department.
Right.
In order to get the benefits of the Quinn bill.
Right. Pay increases for higher education, yeah.
The Quinn bill was abused. That provision has largely disappeared, and so now we're back to playing the old parity game. Again, it's not that the police don't deserve raises. It's just that the union keeps changing the rules of the game. And David, he needs to get the last word.
What I want to say is, putting aside the fairness or equity or how much, the reality going forward for Marty Walsh now is that you have municipal unions who work for the city, who have this precedent of the police unions contract, which means they're all going to want raises. Similarly, and you also have the precedent of these very good arbitrators awards, both for the police unions and for the firefighters previously, which means that the unions in negotiating are going to have the upper hand because they're going to be happy to go into binding arbitration rather than give stuff up in negotiations. And on top of that, they're feeling very powerful politically, and they think, whatever he may have said during the campaign, they think they have a friend in the mayor's office now who they in effect, have put there and who owes them. So going forward, it's going to be very hard for Mayor Walsh to spend money on things that he wants to spend on because he's going to have to spend money with these
Right.
unions.
And before you shut me up, the council president, Steve Murphy, who's a good guy who I've known for years, but he had the nerve to tell the other unions, the police say, well, that's enough, don't expect us to do this again, and then to say we're going to run a tight ship from that. I mean,
All right. We're doubling our allotted time here, but
Okay.
Marty Walsh said when he was running for mayor, basically, the unions are going to listen to me when it comes time to bargain because they know that I'm a labor guy too, so they're going to be willing to give more. Based on this episode, does that hold water?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can draw conclusions going forward from this in
I
terms
agree
of
with
what
David.
Marty Walsh will do. I think he wanted to put this one behind and start fresh. But what I do think is that the unions are unlikely to be giving him the benefit of the doubt going forward. I think they're going to expect a lot from the. They're going to think that they have strong negotiating.
This-
We're going to lose our last viewer
that's
on this
okay.
one. Goodbye.
this isn't Marty Walsh's problem. It's the Boston City Council that blew it.
All right. On that note, Peter Kadzis, David Bernstein, thank you both for being here. As always, thank you for watching. If you still are watching The Scrum, I'm Adam Reilly. We will see you again soon.